Hey traders, how y'all doing? Welcome back and a happy new year. Hope 2013 brings in lots of good trades. I'm just back to share a few of my trades. I'm going to talk about three main trades today. I know it's been a while, but I've been busy trading. And it's been a lot of fun actually. The new year is bringing out lots of new opportunities. And I'm going to be talking about um, how I basically do my analysis and how I go in trades and why I go into trades. Right now I'm trading in the pound and New Zealand dollar. This is the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, I have the Ichimoku system on. I also have the fractals on, and I'm using price action indication without the Heikin Ashi. And these are the moving averages, the 100 moving average and the 200 moving average. A lot of big banks and stuff use these moving averages, so it's always a good idea to put them on so you know if the bias of price action is bearish or bullish with relation to the moving averages. It's just there for bias purposes. So as you can see now, this one is going down on the pound New Zealand. What this means is that the pound is losing its value against the New Zealand dollar. Now, if you think about fundamentals, which is news and stuff, it also makes sense because the pound has been dropping in value for a long time. And the New Zealand dollar is pretty stable. And it's I would go so far as to say it's actually increasing a little bit in value. So this actually makes sense then. So the pound New Zealand dollar pair, you want to go short. Well, the first thing you want to do is get your bias from the day chart. So I'm gonna go in the day chart and I'm looking at the day chart. And with the Ichimoku system, it makes it really easy. I'm just going to explain a little bit about the Ichimoku system. This is basically the Japanese future candlesticks, if you call it. It's just showing price action. These are the kumo. You have this is the kumo, sorry. This is the bearish kumo and this is the bullish kumo. Now we have a final twist. The kumo is pretty much gonna this region here is the future kumo. So it tells you what's gonna happen in the future. It's just basically support and resistance. To make it simple, if it's inside the Kumo, you don't want to trade it because it's in neutral zone. It's ranging. Price is ranging. If it's below the Kumo, you want to trade short, or you want to go into the market is bearish pretty much. If it's above the Kumo, the market is bullish. Now, this line right here is called the Chiku span. The Chiku span is one of the most important indicators that comes along with the Ichimoku system. The Ichimoku is made up of 5 different lines. The first line is the tenken. The tenken is this one. It's a 9-period moving average. It's not exactly a moving average. It's not like a simple moving average. It's slightly different. They take the average of the highs and the lows of the previous price action. So we have the 9-period down here, which is the little brown yellowish line. It's called the tenken sen. And we have the kijun sen, which is the blue line. This is the 26-period moving average. And so that's one, tenken sen, kijun sen, and then you have the chiku span, which is this one, which is the 26 periods that is moved back. And we have the kumo pretty much. We have the CZK span A and the CZK span B. And they just pretty much make up the cloud. You don't need to worry too much about the technicalities. If you're interested in using the Ichimoku system, you can just go on YouTube and Google Ichimoku explained or something like that. They have lots of good videos. There's one by Manesh Patel, and he really explains it pretty well. So yeah, that's the Ichimoku system. All you're looking for is a tenken below the kijun. That's a bearish cross. You're looking for the future kumo to be bearish, and you want price action itself to be below the tenken and the kijun, and chiku must be below the price. That's a bearish. If you're looking for a bullish signal, it's all opposite. So now we're looking for a 3-tier process. Price below the tenken, below the kijun. And this one is not opened up yet. It's probably going to happen, but you should never assume it. Do not trade what you feel, only trade what you see. So that's a little bit about the Ichimoku system. Now you see that this is a short position. It's obviously below the kumo, and the tenken is about to cross the kijun. Now, like I said again, we should not be doing this. We should wait for it to cross and then take the trade. but I just took it anyways because I went in the 4 hour time frame, and this gives you a little bit of a clearer picture of what's happening. I saw that the same thing, the tenken is way below the kijun, price action is below the tenken, and the 100 moving average crossed below the 200 moving average, and the future kumo is also nice and bearish. Now, one thing you want to pay attention to is if the kumo is close and tight, it means it's a strong downtrend. Once it starts spacing out, it gives you a big little space, it means it's going to start ranging in a while. That's something you want to pay attention to. Now this is moving up because I've already marked out support zones down here. I took the trade here at the break of this fractal level down here. It broke this level, I took the trade, it retraced a little bit. Price always does that, it pulls back to the tenken and then it continues going down. Now that's always a good sign. If it pulls back to the tenken and it keeps going down, stay in the trade. It's a really good sign. When it gets too far away from the kijun, it tends to come back to the kijun and then it bounces off the kijun. That's also a good sign. You always want to play a tenken bounce, you always want to play a kijun bounce, you also want to play a moving average bounce, and you definitely want to play a kumo breakout or a kumo bounce. As you can see, this is a kumo bounce. More like a kijun bounce, but it's also a kumo bounce because it's just breaking out of the kumo. So what happens is if most people take the trade down here, if you take the trade here, it's going to go back against you. This is what the banks do. They push the trade against people so that you lose your trade. It depends how far your stop loss is. So yeah, you always want to take a bounce. I like playing the bounces because it makes more sense. So this was a tenken bounce, and I went in the trade. At the close of this candle, I entered the trade. It pulled back. It went against me for almost a day, and then it started going down. Now these are support lines that I've drawn, and I'm waiting for an exit pretty much. Right now I'm up about 218 pips, as you can see down here, and I entered this position 3 days ago. I was waiting for this. This was the next fractal. I'm going to explain the fractals as well. The fractals are just pretty much support and resistance zones. So whenever you see a fractal, you just draw a line at the level where the fractal formed. These are basic indicators. You can just go in and these are Bill Williams indicators. Just go. I think almost every platform has them, so it's not a big deal. Just put them on. It shows you support and resistance areas, and you just want to play off a break. So whenever it breaks, you just take it. So as you can see, this fractal level was broken. You came back to retest it, and it came down again. Now this is my own support level. It broke it. Now this is also my own support level, but it also happens to be a fractal. So I'm going to put in a fractal line right now. So it gives you confluence. If you have confluence, it's always a good sign. So these are my fractal lines. Just color your lines whatever you want. I just do this. So now we have a fractal line, and we have my support line, and it looks like price has broken both. So it's probably going to break this, come back and test the fractal level, and then continue. Now if it goes beyond the fractal level, I'm going to close my trade. If I'm trading fractals, but I'm not. So I know that this is a zone, like I've mentioned in my previous videos. These are zones that could be problematic. So I'm expecting ranging. If it goes back beyond against it, I'm going to get out of my trade and expect a kijun bounce. And if it bounces off the kijun, I'll enter the trade again. So that's pretty much it. And I also have another support level down here. So if it breaks, retest it, and it keeps coming down, I'll just keep updating my fractals. And if it doesn't cross any fractal in the wrong direction, I'm going to stay in the trade. And when it comes out here, this is my take profit. I haven't done further analysis yet, so I'm going to wait till it comes there. That's pretty much it for the pound New Zealand dollar. I'm also going to talk about the euro and the Czech krona. Now this is pretty much the same thing. Let's go to the day chart, get the bias. Okay, and it's obviously an uptrend. Same thing. Use the Ichimoku system. It's above everything. The previous fractal level is down here. It's broken it. It's going up. No fractals yet, so it's an uptrend. The price is way above the kijun. The tenken is in the kijun itself, so we don't have the three-tiered process yet, but it should come out pretty soon. But like I said, we should not be guessing. We should always trade what you see. But it's nothing to worry about for now. So the future kumo is also bullish. Kijun is pointing straight up. That's a good sign. The Chiku span is also pointing up. It's clear of price action. What I like to do is I like to draw a little box in front of my Chiku span and see if there's any obstructions. If it's down here, we have lots of obstructions. Price is an obstruction. If it's down here, we have price. It's inside of the kumo, just lots of different stuff. Down here is good. It's a nice long uptrend. So this is showing a possible uptrend with no blockage. So I go back to fractal levels. Now that's the daily bias is showing a bullish. Go into the 4-hour time frame. And yeah, so I took the trade when it broke this level. It broke this level and it did a huge retrace, and then it continued going up. And it also happened to be a tenken bounce. Always a good time to go into a trade. It did the tenken bounce, and I entered the trade at the close of this candle. Got in the trade, went up, and then it went down a little bit. But I was never really in minus. Formed a fractal level here, came up to this fractal level, came back down here, bounced off the tenken, bounced below the tenken. Now this was the first indication that it might be a reversal, but I was just waiting for it. I normally keep my stop losses way below the kijun just to be safe. And this one came, it almost touched the kijun, but it didn't, so it continued going up. So then it respected this fractal level and it broke. And I was expecting it to bounce off the second fractal level, but it didn't. It came inside here. But this trade is not, but this candle hasn't closed yet, so I'm still expecting it to pull back, bounce up, and then continue going up. I guess all I can do is update you guys and see what happens. So yeah, I'm also in this trade. I'm in profit about 140 pips. So let's do my trades now. I'm gonna come back with another video and explain. I just took a new trade, an Aussie US dollar as well. I'm gonna come back and explain why I took that trade. So see you guys in a bit, and a happy new year.